Good afternoon. I would like to call the November 10th board meeting to order and ask that you join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. And now would you please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance? Yep. I'm going to put the JROTC students on the spot. Can we have you guys lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now we'll have our mission statement read by Director Mills.
The Waterloo schools will set the standard for urban education by ensuring that every student is given the comprehensive support and diverse experiences needed to graduate with a diploma and a plan.
Thank you, Director Mills. The next item on our agenda is a public hearing for sale or disposal of real property. In accordance with Section 297.22 of the Code of Iowa, a public hearing is required if the Board of Education of a school corporation proposes consideration of sale or disposal of real property that is school district property. A public hearing provides so that any and all interested persons may appear and file objection to said proposed sale or disposal of surplus real property. The property that the public hearing for sale or disposal is the Expo Alternative Learning Center at 1410 Independence Avenue in Waterloo, Iowa. Information about the property can be received by contacting our Director of Operations, Zach Kelly. And a notice of the public hearing regarding consideration of the sale or disposal of real surplus real property that is district property was published in the Waterloo Cedar Falls Courier. I now declare this open. So anyone who would like to address the board about the hearing for disposal of real property can come to the microphone. Make sure the green light is on and start by stating your name and address. Going once? Going twice? Can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
All those in favor, and this requires a roll call vote. Director Cox?
Aye.
Director Matlock?
Aye.
Director Schmidt?
Aye.
Director Knight?
Aye.
Director Mills?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carried. The hearing is now closed. The next item on our agenda is information from individuals and delegations. This is an opportunity where those who wish to address the school board may do so. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Mrs. Arndorfer will hold up a yellow card when you have 30 seconds remaining and a red card when your time has expired. At this time, I will ask you to conclude your public remarks. Please also keep your comments respectful and constructive. We are all here with the goal of trying to help our students. Please also avoid criticizing the job performance of specific employees of the district. Personnel matters are confidential and must be handled through the proper channels and not in a public forum. Finally, we provide this as an opportunity for public comments, but it is generally not a back and forth conversation. We will try to help with questions before or after the board meeting, but we must proceed with our agenda items. With that, I would like to invite anyone who wishes to address the board this evening to step up to the microphone, make sure the green light is on, and start by stating your name and address. Yep, they're the
You hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Good evening. This letter that I'm going to read to you guys was written as a collaborative effort among the majority of the Waterloo Career Center staff.
Can you state your name and address, please?
I will. My name is Heather Beaufort. I don't live in Waterloo, I live in Waverly. I'm a proud to be a part of the Waterloo Career Center community, a place that has been recognized locally, statewide, nationally, internationally for its excellence in career and technical education. Districts across the county, or across the country, excuse me, are wanting to build what Waterloo Career Center has built. They want to provide these opportunities to their local schools and the next generation. Waterloo Community School District and Waterloo Career Center are in the forefront and recognized. Schools across the country are watching Waterloo Community Schools District and the Waterloo Career Center. For years, the Waterloo Career Center has stood as a pillar of innovation in Iowa. It is a model of how students, educators, and local businesses can come together to build a stronger, more skilled workforce and give students meaningful opportunities to discover their passions, career paths, as the Waterloo Strategic Plan still prioritizes. When Waterloo United and the One Waterloo School visions were introduced, they were presented as a promise of greater access, collaboration, and opportunity for all students across the district. The Waterloo Career Center was at the heart of that promise. The Waterloo Career Center is a supplement to the Waterloo School District. The engagement through hands-on learning, academic competitions, program certifications is all driven by our students' overall experiences in career-connected learning. We have it. Last year in the fall, we had 2024, we had 992 students. In the spring 2025, we had 1,090, our highest yet. Our district test scores increased. Not saying that's because of WCC. I'm saying it's because our students are engaged. CTE is for every student. However, recent developments have raised deep concerns. Waterloo's Career Center staff recently received an email stating that programs are being limited due to the school implementing a minimum of 10 students every WCC class. Hawkeye Community College average class size is 13, by the way. Roughly 9 classes at WCC have already this fall been canceled, even though there's an instructor already contracted and approved to teach these classes and still available to do so. These actions will further perpetuate the loss of future opportunities for these students in the community. About 5 days into classes, there was roughly about 40 students that were rerouted from these classes.
Ms. Before, can you
Yes.
wrap your comments up, please?
Sure.
We're at the 3 minutes. And if you have communication or email form, you can email the
I
board
do.
members. You can send it to Ms.
I'll actually
Ardupper.
have someone continue this.
All right.
Thank you.
Tom Lowers, I'm an instructor at the Waterloo Career Center, former statistics instructor. Am I ready to go?
Your address.
One more time.
Your address.
My address, 4828 West 4th Street.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
The impact is already being felt. A long-standing child development program which offers students early childhood certificate hours and concurrent credit will no longer offer concurrent credit after the current instructor retires at the end of this year. Medical terminology, a large and essential class that is concurrent and feeds directly into all health programs, will not return at this time. Concurrent college credit opportunities are being cut back, limiting pathways that once gave students a head start and an advantage towards their career pathways or college journey. EMT will also not be returning next year. Staff were told that all programs are now closely monitored with the potential for further adjustments. The message even included the words, "All opportunities are under review," followed by instructions on how to break your contract, essentially offering teachers a way out, but only if they pay up to $5,000 to do so. This type of communication sends a clear message. Programs are not being quietly discontinued. Students are having opportunities taken away. The future of the WCC is not certain. These decisions are being made even though these programs are elective driven, and natural enrollment fluctuations are to be expected. These are not failing programs. They are programs that require community investment and support, not withdrawal. These programs or classes may be elective for high school students. However, for college and entry-level careers, they are a prerequisite. They make our students directly ready for entry-level positions and to move ahead in line at the college setting. Compounding this problem is I'm not going to say that. This system is not sustainable and is not fair to the families who remain committed to the public school system. Waterloo's businesses, hospitals, early childhood centers, manufacturers, and service industries depend on the graduates who start their journey here. Waterloo Career Center has always been about access, opportunity, and excellence. We cannot allow short-term budgetary reactions and district policies to dismantle years of progress and innovation. These programs do not just serve students, they serve the entire community. Let's make sure that the promise of Waterloo United is one that is kept, not broken. Parents, students, community members, and local businesses, please speak up. Attend school board meetings, contact district leadership, and reach out to state representatives. The future of Waterloo students and workforce depend on protecting access to CTE programs at the Waterloo Career Center. We need full transparency, and you are a voice that needs to be heard. Again, this letter was written as
Can you please wrap up your comments, please, sir?
This letter was written as a collaborative effort among the majority of the Waterloo Career Center staff. Thank you for your time.
And can you please have someone send that to the board secretary, Pam Arndorfer, so she can get it to all the board members? Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board this evening? Seeing none others, we'll continue with our board agenda. The next item on our agenda is a school presentation from East High School. We are excited to continue the tradition of spotlighting the outstanding work happening across our school district during the 2025-2026 school year. This has been an ongoing thing for the past 2 years. Tonight, we have East High, our JROTC program, I believe, to give us a little information on what they do. And we have Principal Byron Phillips of East High School to give us a little bit more information.
Good evening. It won't be much more information, but I will do the introductions of our great leaders. This program, for the longest, was run with one instructor, and that's Master Sergeant Dave Stone. He's been there for 9 years. And then we were fortunate enough last year to bring on Major Lynch partway through the year. And so this will be his first complete year. And he's been a great addition. So I know you guys, when you're at sporting events, wherever you may go, you may see our JOTC. They post the color for a lot of different events, but they do a lot more than that. So when asked to feature or spotlight a group, this is the one we chose this year. So I'm going to let these gentlemen take over, and then I think they're going to have our fine students take over from there.
Hello. I appreciate the opportunity to speak in front of you. These 4 wonderful cadets have taken the great time to put together a presentation for you, and I will bring it up right now. Okay. Ready? So how are you? Yes. All right. Clicker.
My name is Liz Hummer. I'm the battalion commander of the Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps program, and it is my honor to present and introduce everyone here. This program is a very vital asset in our school because it allows cadets to be involved in the community as well as demonstrate a pride for their nation. And I will go into the aspects of what our program is as a whole in the next slide. So the program is revolved around many different aspects, and the ones that I pointed out specifically are going to be community and battalion involvement. One of our key goals is to be involved in the community, whether that is posting the colors at various events in the community, but also doing things like volunteer at the food bank regularly, and doing things such as things with the American Legion and the AMVETS, as well as various aspects in the school, such as the events that they host and many other obligations there. The next one is going to be teamwork. Every person in the battalion plays a role because it is revolves around every person and not just leadership. One of our key goals is to make sure that everyone is involved, and that is with many leadership roles, such as every class period having a company commander and a company first sergeant who demonstrate leadership by partnering with our instructors, as well as many other people in leadership, which are called staff, who are man the battalion. And then that goes into my next slide with leadership, and then I'm going to touch on the staff aspect more, as these people, they plan events such as our annual service learning project, where we all go into the community, or the main aspect of the battalion. And this year we're going to work with Retrieving Freedom to work with service dogs, or also go and attend elementary schools and start recruiting with them, or as well as starting to tutor with them to overall improve our enrollment rate. And the next aspect is going to be communication. And this will go into my next bullet point as well. When I was in the program, when I first started the program, I was a very shy person, and this program has allowed me to use the experiences I've had to better myself as a person, as an individual, and as a leader, because I've worked with many individuals who have bettered me and allowed me to see how vital this program is, and it is more than just an elective in the school. And we have a video to play to highlight all the events we've had in the past few months.
Sorry, you gotta play it this way for you. So this is actually a new program that we started to get into this year with drones. We're finding that it's quite expensive. So. So this was a competition where they did drilling ceremony along with some other things against 8 different schools throughout not only Iowa but neighboring states as well down in Des Moines. So this is an event that takes place towards the end of the year where they get to have fun flying helicopters, rappel down walls, and then also learn additional leadership skills as well. So.
And there's a brief overview of some of the events we do, and I'll turn it over to our Command Sergeant Major, Landon Halpfuss.
I'm Command Sergeant Major Landon Halpfuss. As you can see based off the video, our teams play a vital role in our mission of JROTC. These teams provide our cadets with opportunities to get out in the community and learn skills that will assist them with their future goals. Like drill, which involves precise, synchronized movements, and is also used as a training tool to help our cadets get a sense of discipline, leadership, respect for authority. The Color Guard is a ceremonial team of cadets responsible for the presentation of the United States colors. It provides our cadets with opportunities to get out in the community and be a part of major events, which helps them build respect and honor upon themselves, which can affect someone's future forever. Our Raiders team provides our cadets with opportunities to improve upon the physical and mental strengths while also learning how to use teamwork to accomplish a task. These skills that are learned from the teams are what makes our mission possible and is what gives our cadets the potential and the skills to become better citizens. Now, with all being said, I will hand it off to our Executive Officer, Holt.
Hello, I am the Executive Officer, Cadet Major Holt, and I will be mostly going over our curriculum as well as, like RBC said, talking more about how our staff and leadership worked, as well as going deeper into our events. So for our curriculum, we have 4 LET levels, which stands for Leadership, Education, and Training. What we do is we provide the proper training to help our cadets develop the skills they need for later on in life, for if they decide to go into JRTC in college or ROTC in college, or even enlist in the military right after high school, or even for the regular jobs. We have our emerging leader, the developing leader, the supervising leader, and the managing leader. Each one comes full circle and helps support our mission goal of motivating young people to become better citizens. And next we have our chain of command, which all work hand in hand in keeping our battalion running. Our staff, which consists of the S1, S3, S4, our PAO officer, which he's right over there, and our S6, who all work together and help plan our events, help communicate, show to the community what we have to offer, and just we help keep our own battalion running and find more things to volunteer for. If it weren't for some of our staff members, I don't think we'd get some of the volunteers that we have. Or if it weren't for Master Sergeant and Major Lynch, because they help us out a lot when we need it. And finally, we have our events. which consists of our service learning project, like our battalion commander over here said. They are our main big project that the whole battalion comes together to work for, and we just get up in the community. It's our last project, our last big project of the year. So we've done things like help out in the Humane Society. We've helped out at Salvation Army. Heck, our Veterans Breakfast, which we just had last week, was in fact a service learning project a few years back. So, and then we have our daily and upcoming events like meet up with middle schools or helping out with American Legion more often, even all of our color guards. And then we have our seasonals, like the blood drive that we had just finished that you had seen on the slideshow. And then other events that we've done in the past, like we had helped out for the past 4 years, the tree planting project had done over downtown. We had helped out with Adopt Family at Lowell. We've done a lot of stuff for the community. So, and that's all I have to say. I guess, thank you. Any questions?
Do you have any questions for the cadets?
Can we introduce our
I'm
public
sure.
affairs officer?
You just want the, okay.
Let's guess and see which one he is.
Mr. Dahl, you come say hello.
Let me guess first. Let's see, side by side. You kind of tall. Hayden?
No.
I knew you'd get it wrong.
Oh.
You gotta watch which glasses they have on.
Yeah. I can't. It's easy to tell them apart. One gets in trouble and the other doesn't. So, well, and that's what I mean. So thank you for your time. And if you ever,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm sure we have questions and comments.
Okay.
You're not getting off that easy.
First of all, congratulations to the students for choosing DROTC. I always felt that military has the best leadership. U.S. military has the best leadership program in the world, and so you're on your way. Take full advantage of it as you are. Retrieving freedom was mentioned. What role?
So that's something I brought up to the kids this year when looking at different types of service projects. Retrieving Freedom, I don't know if you're aware of what they do, but they train dogs for service members as well as children with autism. So that's their mission. We were going to look into what kind of volunteer services they might need. Another was for us to get into the elementary schools and do some mentoring and reading and things of that sort. So they still have quite a bit to go through when we're going through our process of deciding what we're going to actually do. But that was one of them.
How many's in the program?
We have 84 at the moment.
Oh,
Next semester, I think we'll be around 102, 104.
is that what's your goal for a battalion?
300, 400 students. I'll take as many as I can get. No, if we have that many, Matt's starting to get really mad at me. But we'll take as many as we can. We'll fill our classrooms and just continue to teach young children and young adults how to be good stewards and good leadership.
Do you offer a marksmanship badge? Do you do any shooting?
Actually, we do have a shooting range down in the basement. It hasn't been used in quite some time because he was by himself, but that's one thing that we want to do is get that put back together and start teaching them that type of stuff. But it's airsoft pellets, I believe. Yeah. Oh, 5.56 millimeter. No.
Right.
No, very minimal damage at all. But no, safety is always up front a concern there. So, yes.
Well, thank you.
So can each of the cadets, or I'm sorry, I forget ranks really quickly, kind of say what you plan to do going forward, if you plan to do ROTC or use go to the military college, whatever your plans are.
Sure. Yeah. Right now we know that of two that are going to go into, well, this one's going to Iowa. Not sure about her yet. Go ahead.
My experience. So my plan is to go to the University of Iowa and enroll in the ROTC program. I'm actually going to be in the running for a national scholarship where they cover all my tuition. I'm also going to be trying to enroll in the simultaneous membership program, but also going to the Guard alongside the ROTC. So with this program, I've realized that this is where I want to go. I want to be in the military and also alongside becoming a pharmacist and going to the University of Iowa for that regard as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
After high school, I'm planning on going up to Minnesota to be up at their university in the Twin Cities. I'm planning on joining their ROTC program and also to study in physics up there, which funny enough, I never actually imagined myself being in JROTC. So the fact that I'm currently the executive officer is a little bit of a shock to me.
So how did you get interested, since you weren't in the beginning?
So freshman orientation, I was wandering around in the gym with a couple of my friends, and we saw the JRTC booth. It was right after I signed up for academic decathlon, and my friends were like, hey, let's do this. And I'm like, okay, fine. The only reason I was interested was because I saw the saber that they had on the table. But yeah. It's not the most inspiring thing. Like, I joined because my dad was in the military or something. I just joined because I liked the idea that I could have a saber.
Fair enough.
Don't take that one to the elementary schools, though.
Oh.
My plans for after high school is I want to go in an infantry unit. I want to go straight enlisted. And then possibly move to something engineering related, which obviously WCC can help me for my senior year. And then one reason I joined JRTC is just because ever since I was young, I just felt the need to assist our country. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Orby. Here, hold on. I gotta get your picture.
So after high school, probably my plans would be going into the service, and my reason to join JRTC was because to learn more about leadership and leadership skills. Yeah.
Break this on purpose? No.
He locked it on you.
All I did was turn
While he's trying to figure that out, I could be a little biased about the JROTC program. And I remember a few years ago, I was talking to Colonel Keith, Lieutenant Colonel Keith, about how amazed I was because at that time, I believe there were over 200. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Was one of the largest organizations in the Waterloo Community Schools, just at East High, with the sheer number of students that were participating in the JROTC program. And I had an opportunity last week, 2 weeks ago, to come in and talk to all the JROTC classes. And one of the things I talked about was the students may not know it now, but the things that they learned that they are learning in the JROTC program will take them as far as they want to go. The dedication, the leadership qualities and skills, communication, the being on time and the discipline. It's one of the greatest programs that I've seen. Like I said, I can be a little biased, and it also, as Miss Elise or Battalion Commander Hogmiller talked about, being shy or not talking a whole lot before joining this program, and it gives you the confidence and the skills to do what you just came up and did today. Very articulate, the stature that you stand with, what you believe in, the service to your school and to your community. So I just want to give you kudos to the leadership of the program, but also the students for, you know, putting something into your future early on, giving yourself a chance and learning things that might have been out of your comfort zone, you know, before you started, but you've learned and you've grown in it. You're taking leadership roles, which is extremely important, and we talk about that as well as board members. But just the willingness to serve is you know, second to none, and for you to you know, not take it for granted, or for you to want to do it as a student. So kudos to you, kudos to the leadership, the whole staff at East High for supporting the program and the community. So just wanted to, you know, say thank you for your service and continue to shine a light within your buildings and within your community as well. So I'm going to give them a round of applause for their service.
President Williams, would it be okay if we got a picture of the whole group with us?
Absolutely. I don't mind that request. They might not want to take a picture with us. We can ask. And Twin, you have to be in the picture, so you can't take it. You have to give it off to somebody else. Will we be okay with that? Taking a few minutes to take a picture with the JROTC program?
Like this way, or? Oh,
Just on your phone.
y'all need to squish. Yeah, make 2 lines or whatever. John, can you go behind like Stacy and Caleb? Yeah, okay.
I'll take a bunch, because I don't know.
Oh, it's really bright. Should I? Okay, I don't know why it's really bright. Why does it keep coming up? Just hold it down like this. Okay, someone give me their phones.
Thanks, you guys. All right.
Let's see which one was mine. And that presentation was for information only. Yeah. It's FYI. The way you vote. The next item on our agenda is a school presentation from Bunger Middle School. So we see Principal Zach O'Brien and a couple of students. And Miss Mandy.
So I hope our Bunger students listen to the JROTC presentation.
Yes. Yes.
Here you go.
Yep.
All right. Good evening. I'm Zach O'Brien. I am the principal at Bunger Middle School. Like Director Astor said, is it coming up? There it goes. All right. So tonight we are going to present on positive referrals. It's something that we started 2 years ago at Bunger, and it's part of our PBIS program. We've got 3 students here and our student support specialist, which was a new position 2 or 3 years ago. And I will let them introduce themselves.
I'm Mandy Feltpouch. I'm the student support specialist at Bunger.
I'm Amaya Holmes. I'm in 8th grade.
I'm Carter Stark and I'm in 7th grade.
I'm Olivia Parker and I'm in 8th grade.
All right, so kind of what you will see here is this is our kind of our Bunger behavior data that has come from the Tableau system that comes off Infinite Campus, and we purposely have some of it blocked out. My first year at Bunger was in 2023, and so what you will see at the top is kind of our tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 students, and really what we are hoping for with that is in tier 1, we want, a lot of our students to kind of live in that world 85 to 90%. And then in tier 2, which is the second graph, we really want that to be like 10 to 15%. And then the last one would be our tier 3 students. We want that to kind of be that 3 to 5% range. And so kind of what you'll see on this graph is the first year in 2023, when I was in the principal, we had 253 major referrals. And then it really spiked up our second year to 404. You can see the percentage of students that were suspended from school increased by 6%. And you can kind of see our tier data was going in the wrong direction. So what we did last year, it was just kind of an idea we had. We started a thing called positive referrals, where we asked staff members to write one positive referral on a student every week. And really what we were trying to do, and you'll see some numbers later, is we were really just trying to get our staff looking at kids maybe in a different light or a different lens and just recognizing all the positive things that they do every day. I think schools are really similar to social media. There could be 1,000 things that happen at Bunger tomorrow and 998 of them are fabulous and magnificent, but sometimes we like to magnify the 1 or 2 situations that happen a day in a school. So this is just kind of some of our behavior data, and we're gonna come back and revisit that in a little bit.
All right, next is submitting a positive referral. A lot of people are unaware that in Infinite Campus, instead of just writing a negative referral, you can also write a positive referral. So you would go into the community on Infinite Campus and then select behavior referral, and then you would hit new. And instead of the negative for the select the ward, you would actually do a positive. And then you select the location that it happened, whether it was in the classroom, the hallway, the cafeteria, the office, wherever it may be, you would select that location. And then you would explain what that student did, and then you would choose that student's name. And then here you would select if it was like the award was other, responsibility, or respect. And then you go on and you submit that through. And here's our why.
So kind of how we got to this point was a few things. First off, I think I told you in my second year, we really saw our data spiking in a direction that we didn't feel comfortable with. The other thing that you will see here in a little bit on a slide is students used to complete the conditions of learning survey through the state. And when we got that data back, around 90% of our kids said, hey, if I'm doing something wrong at Bunger, you guys are contacting home and letting my parents know. But only 60% of our kids felt like if I'm doing something right, you're contacting home and letting our families know. So to me, I was like, ooh, that's kind of like a really big ick feeling. I think us as adults even could say, like when your boss texts you or someone, when Dr. Smith says, hey, your attendance is like looking really good at Bunger, like, right? We all like that positive affirmation. So we really tried to focus on that. The other thing was our attendance was going the wrong way as well in terms of our chronic absenteeism. So we felt that if we could change the culture of our building and the experience our kids were getting, then our attendance would also start to make strides as well.
So this is our team. So Mr. Thomas, our campus security, Demetrius, and then we pick our student leaders from each grade to help us out. So they help announce names in the cafeteria when we do them. They help fill out the certificates. They help fill the cart on Wednesdays. And so we have them come in the cafeteria during their lunch period, and they would stand up with us, walk in with us, and help announce the names for those positive referrals.
So yeah, if you guys ever want to see it, it's kind of like become a big thing on Wednesdays, and it gets a little chaotic, but essentially what you would see at the beginning of a lunch shift is Mr. Thomas on the left. He will throw on some pretty cool sunglasses. ones that I could not wear and rock, but he goes in there. Demetrius comes in with a big speaker. They have a song going, and then they just kind of announce the positive referrals and they hand them out to students. We've had students doing backflips. We've got kids cheering for each other. It kind of gets kind of crazy. We brought some examples that Mandy will bring up if you kind of want to see them. So students do get a certificate, and then the referral is actually attached to it. So the student gets to see, hey, which staff member wrote the referral and what did they say about me. And we found that to be pretty powerful for kids. So I'm going to let Mandy talk about some of the parent testimonials, because we also contact parents about these as well.
So every Wednesday after we do our positive referrals during their lunch shift, I go on to Talking Points and send this message to the parents of the students that were selected that week. It has a picture of the cart and the certificate, and I just let them know that your student was selected for demonstrating smart behavior, whether it was in the classroom, the hallway, the office, anywhere in school. Some of them, the parents even said, thanks for backing up the values that we have at home. This is awesome. We're proud of all the kids that go above and beyond. So they're really getting into the positive referrals and letting them, like the students being recognized for their good behaviors. And here are some student testimonials.
When I was presented with a positive referral, I feel good because a teacher saw me doing something good, and I know I am doing a good job when I got one. Makes me feel a sense of achievement, like I've done something good.
How I felt when I got a positive referral this year was a better feeling than anything I remember. The day of a positive referral, I really didn't think I was getting one because it was only the beginning of the year. But not only did I get one, but I got 3, and it felt great because in our grade, positive referrals are a method to brag about. Knowing that we get a reward for doing good deeds, and it's not about the award, it's about the teachers noticing us for our respect and the caring feelings toward one another. I think positive referrals are something every school should be doing time to 8th. It feels amazing to know that my efforts weren't just noticed but appreciated. It boosts my confidence and motivates me to keep striving for success. I believe these referrals play a huge role in creating a positive atmosphere in our school, Mackenzie, 8th grade.
Oops, I went too far. So we are making a difference. So now we've kind of cleared out some of the spots that you couldn't see. So 2025 was our first year that we had positive referrals, and we did around 1,600 positive referrals. You can see from 2024 to 25, our tier 1 data went up 8%, which is what we wanted to see. Our tier 2 data went down from 14.82% to 6.36, and our tier 3 data stayed the same. The other thing you see is a big decrease in students that were suspended out of school from 19% to 14%. Obviously, we're only a quarter of a way through the year this year, but right now we have about 98% of our kids living in that tier 1. We have 2% living in tier 2, and we do not have any tier 3 kids at all right now. And then you can see the decrease in referrals. We went from 404 to 289. Right now we're sitting at 52, so we hope to end around 200. And then for students that have been suspended out of school, we're down to 4.11%. So that is kind of good data that we feel great about. And then just kind of flipping the script. So I talked about earlier, the 61% of students felt like, hey, I'm getting something positive sent home about me in 2025. That went up all the way to 84%. And then if you look at our referral data, so in 2025, we had 289 major referrals, and we had 1,639 positive referrals, which was like a 6-to-1 ratio on positives. And this year, we're just kind of blowing it out of the water. We have 52 major referrals, 940 positive referrals, so we're on pace for an 18-to-1 ratio.
And one of our goals is to make sure that every student in the building has gotten a positive referral. So far, we've had 372 students receive a positive referral out of the 445 that we have. So we still have only 73 left to go to make sure that everyone in the building has a positive referral. And it just keeps on going. Like each week we have more and more submitted by teachers.
Yep, and one of the nice thing, we were trying to flip the script, and this is when I knew it was really taking off. We were getting some positive feedback from students, but I had a few staff members say like, hey, this is great. Like, I don't always feel like I'm looking for what students are doing wrong. I'm starting to look at them for what they're doing right. Once in a while, I'm gone from Bunger. I take a vacation day. But the great thing is, just like a major referral, I get an email on my phone for the positive referrals. So a lot of times when I'm gone because I have a sick kid or whatever, like if my email's going off, it's like positive referral, positive referral, positive. So that makes us feel real good that we're getting there on those.
And then these are some pictures from our celebrations for each grade level. You can see the amount of kids that get them. It just grows each week. They get so excited each day. I probably have a handful, if not more, kids come up to me. Did I get a positive referral this week? Did I get a positive referral this week? So they look forward to it. They want teachers to notice them doing good stuff. And it makes my heart happy that they get so excited about it. And just seeing the smiles and the reactions on their face when their name is called in the cafeteria and their friends are even recognizing their good behavior. And it's just a domino effect.
And I'll be totally transparent. This is kind of an idea we had, something I probably like drew up on a napkin. That seems to be where my best ideas come from at times, but really a lot of the credit goes to Mandy. So when I kind of had this idea and vision, she kind of took it, her and Mr. Thomas, and just ran with it. And it really evolved into something that I didn't think it would evolve into, which is great. So we should probably give her a round of applause because she's really been the one that has led it for Bunger. And then we will let the students or whoever answer any questions you guys have.
So I don't have a question. I can wait. I'll wait. Oh, I thought you were ready already.
Well,
I
go first. You want me?
I'll go.
I'll go because I normally wait. I appreciate the intentionality of it. You don't know the importance of celebrating students in that environment, or the students that need it. And that can be the turning point from a student that on the edge a little bit, or student like how I was. But just that recognition in a positive manner could be the difference in turning a student's whole year and the rest of their educational journey around. So I love the intentionality of it.
And we've actually seen that in some students that have been kind of teetering a little bit. And we've turned it around by them getting acknowledged for their positive behavior.
Yep, and it doesn't matter what student you are in the building. We think all of our students can meet high expectations, and it doesn't matter if you've had a month where you've got 10 negative referrals, like, right, you've had a rough month at home and it's just not going well at school. That doesn't disqualify for you from ever getting a positive referral. So sometimes we see those patterns as well. Students getting some like negative referrals, we hit a couple positive referrals, and then they just kind of take off.
Way to flip the script. I mean, that is honestly what we've been talking about, this entire school year is about flipping that script. Congratulations to you. I think Bunger put a challenge out there, though. I think every school should do positive referrals for their students just to see that turnaround. So I think there's a challenge out there. I don't know. I'm not a very competitive person, but it's something though. It's a mindset change. When sometimes students are labeled if they, are at risk or whatever the case is, you turn that mindset around and you start pouring in that positive reinforcement, you can turn that for that student. So congratulations. And I think the challenge should go out.
Well, I think it sets the course for what we consider best practice in the district. And, I had a chance to visit with Mr. O'Brien a few weeks ago, and, I really appreciate the creativity to use a system that is largely been used to document negative actions that, hey, we can use it both ways. I mean, the creativity for you and this, Mandy, they're both what you've done there is just amazing that, recognizing we can do stuff above the line. I mean, so much time we talk about in your life, like if you got your line, like we spend so much time below the line, it's the negative side, and we really need to spend at least half our time above the positive side. So, every time that we're getting too much on the negative side, we need to find some positive in life. And I think it says the same for the children, because you may be offering the students some positive in their day that maybe they don't have outside of school, and be able to counteract. If all they ever see is negative, then it's hard to have a positive outlook on life. But if you provide that structure to help give them that, have them have that, they are valued and they're doing great things, I think it would just, as people talk about winning, contagious, right? Good behavior contagious, right? You see one person doing it and other people, and I think it's great. So just congratulations on just a very innovative way to use our system in a very positive manner and have positive outcomes on our students. So.
Jared, do all the buildings know that this is an option in the system? Like, because you guys, are you saying you didn't really know that was even an option in the system, or?
I knew it was an option. I think it's probably an option, and I'll be honest, that I was guilty of as a principal. I mean, I went 2 years without doing this. Shame on me. It's just something that I think is overlooked. I think oftentimes we just, as leaders, I don't know if that will work. Will it really work? But I mean, and I didn't bring any of the data, but I could tell you, if you look at some of our major behaviors, such as verbal altercations, physical altercations, those are essentially non-existent now because our culture has just become doing positive things and getting positive referrals. But it's probably just something that's overlooked on the system, to be honest. We created, or Mandy created, I didn't. She's the one that created the part of the presentation where it teaches you how to do that. We had to do a PD for teachers. So, I mean, we definitely have that presentation, or Mandy does, and it's out there for anybody who would want it.
Kiddos, can you each say what your positive referral has? Have you all gotten one this year yet? Okay.
Who wants to go first? Carter, you got it, man. Carter's got it. Carter's brave. He's gonna do it. Tell him what your positive referral was for.
Most of my referrals from this year have been from one classroom, and I've kind of switched that around. She gave me one for acting right and starting to go from bad behaviors from every week to now kind of getting better and better and better.
Say the teacher's name if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I got one from Barty, and he gave me one for he said something about focusing and helping others with their math work and stuff. And then I felt joy when I got one the first time at the beginning of the year, and it actually made me so excited to get one because it fixes something inside of me. I don't know what it is, but yeah guys.
I got one from Miss Hirschberger, and I don't really know her like that for real, but she gave me one because our science teacher wasn't in there, and me and my cousin, we was watching over the class and keeping them quiet, and then she came in, and so she took over the class while they found a teacher to come in and watch us, and then she told me to take the attendance down to the office, and I helped her with that.
And if you give them also help hand them out and do announce names and everything like that during the week too. So they help on that part as well.
Because you guys are on the team, right? That does it. Okay. I want to tell just a very quick little story about being middle school kid. So I was very quiet, and my 3 kids were as well. I went all the way through middle school, and the only accolades I ever received were just the ones for academics. I never heard anything about behavior. My 3 kids didn't get in trouble. One of them got student of the week or whatever twice. The other 2, the girls, never received anything, no positives at all. And hearing you say it fixed something in you, my youngest especially, it would have fixed something in her to have somebody recognize what she did well. So I absolutely love this. I love what you guys have done with it. I do hope it's something that we can see utilized throughout the district.
Well, I just want to quickly just congratulate on the simple fact that we're able to do something and put some data to it. Data doesn't lie. So it also turns around on simple fact that we always talk about, how are we going to encourage that middle student float up? Because right now in schools, that middle school is floating down. This is a great program to be able to have that middle of the road student to float up and be able to dream, be able to look at other avenues and that kind of thing. I just encourage you to keep it up. Second and third on the challenge district wide, and also for each and every one of y'all came up and told your story. It's something special. I know it's special to you, and I can guarantee you that especially the one young fella, I can relate to that because I was that student. I was that student, and all it took is a little bit of encouragement, positive encouragement. So keep it up. Good job.
Did we get a group picture of the kids that are here? I don't know, because Emily's not here.
You want to take a lot of pictures.
I
today,
know.
don't
Well,
you?
kids come all the way here. They sit through this meeting. And it takes a lot to get up to this microphone and talk, doesn't it? Yeah.
Mr. O'Brien can take one for us, and before you leave out, post it on your.
Yeah, I just need those certificates back for this Wednesday. Thank you, Sam.
Oh, I had one other question. Are all the teachers able to see if there's kids who haven't received it yet? Okay.
Yep. So it's just not a teacher thing. So it's a building wide thing. So everybody's expected to do it. Secretaries, paraeducators, everybody's
okay.
expected to do it. But yeah, we track it. So we have a document. We didn't include it on here. So we can tell which kids have got them, which kids have not, who they've come from, things like that. So yeah, like a kid turns in a wallet, which happens with $50 in it. I'm definitely writing them a positive referral.
Yeah.
So like those are the things that I sing regular. Kid holds a door open for me, whatever. Those are the things I try and write them on.
Yep.
So
Being
maybe
intentional.
After I fill them out, I'll go on and like mark their name for another one, so it'll show how many student has. I think one student has like 10 referrals already, positive referrals. Sorry. That student- Sorry. So each week after I write them, I will go on and mark on the spreadsheet that I have, like who the teacher who submitted it and then what student received it, and it just adds to their number. So again, like a student already has like 10 for the year. So it's just going to continue to grow, and we're not even halfway through the year. So
crazy.
Yeah. Good deal.
The student excitement over this is really important because all the students are in such an impressionable age, and it can take a very small thing to really be important.
Well, having no
Good
tier
impression.
3 kids, that's the
Yeah.
that's the what do you call it? That's the result you're looking for, Well, and these happy faces too, but yeah.
Being impressionable in a good way.
Yeah, I think what we really learned is the power of affirmation that kids are looking for from adults in their lives. And maybe sometimes some of our kids get that at home and maybe sometimes they don't, but they spend 40 hours with us a week. And so they want that affirmation from us that they're doing a good job.
Yeah. All right. Great job.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Plug back in. Plug the other one back in. No, Ron left, so I don't know if it's signed.
Yeah, both of them.
Thank you.
All right, moving along with our agenda. The next item is from information only as well. It is item 9, the WCC Principles of Management class, Jingle All the Way 5K. I'm looking forward to this one. I want to hear about this one.
Hello, my name
Are you
is
going to participate?
Hello, my name is Jody Ehlers. I'm the business and marketing instructor at the Waterloo Career Center. This is my second year here, and what I love about the Waterloo Career Center is the courses that I teach offer time and flexibility to offer enrichment to our students. So in a sense, what this project is. So at the beginning of the class, it's Principles of Management. It's also a Hawkeye Community College concurrent enrollment class. All 4 classes that I teach are for concurrent enrollment. And I posed a challenge to the students in my class at the beginning. Real world projects I feel are important to make the curriculum come alive. And that's what I think the Waterloo Career Center does well. So I posed a challenge to these students about Principles of Management is all about managing a business. And I said, you know, we need to manage something in this class, and I'll let you pretty much decide what it is. So we brainstormed a list of possible options, and then the students narrowed down the list from the big list, and that's why I brought Braden. He was kind of the driving force. I wouldn't call him the committee chair, but he's been a very big driving force in our project. So I think you have our write-up or our announcement from Amy Meehee submitted this on our behalf, thankfully, because I didn't know what format it was supposed to be in. But I'll say, as the instructor, the goal and the curriculum competencies that I'm trying to achieve are all being illustrated in this project. So I'll just read a few of them. The competencies of the class come from the nature of management, how managers need to know themselves. We've hit management decision making. We're thinking about ethics and diversity. We're working in teams. We came to a planning and strategy meeting. We have organizational structure. We're grouping jobs and tasks, much like you would in the workplace. These students are experiencing leadership skills. They're motivating others. They're using their communication skills. And pretty much every day that we've been working on this project, we've been problem solving and critical thinking. I have seen the students fail, and that's hard to watch, but it's fun to watch because they come back very resilient. I've had students say, boy, I didn't know if we were going to pull this off. I thought maybe we were going to have to scrap our ideas and wash our hands of it, and then we come out the next day triumphant. So I'll let Braden tell you his basics of how he kind of led us towards this.
I mean, yeah, in the beginning, we were looking for a project to impact the community. And as a runner myself, I thought right away of a 5K. I figured it was something we could throw together pretty easily, but make it look professional and like it was done by like real world people who actually do this for a living. So as we came together, we kept talking about it. And in the beginning, we faced quite a few hurdles. A lot of insurance details and stuff like that come up that you otherwise, wouldn't expect just running. But there's a lot of things that they want done correctly so everybody's safe and happy. And we just worked through it. I mean, as a team, it was good to come together and just make business calls and do stuff like that. If we were just doing this like theoretically, we didn't actually do the project, we just did the write-up and all that stuff, we wouldn't have gotten the same real-world experience as actually hosting a 5K. And quite frankly, that's been the most impactful part for me, is actually getting to lead something like this and work with other people and reach out to businesses around Waterloo and just all the community aspects that can go into funding a 5K and just helping out with all that. I believe it was really beneficial. It's been a good time.
We have quite a few business partners involved in the project. Braden knew the gentleman at the Runners Flat in Cedar Falls. Super nice guy. We've reached out to him numerous times. He's always answered our questions, even if they're silly. And he's been very instrumental in what we have planned so far. We also reached out to Nestle based on recommendations of our student team. They wanted to have some hot cocoa there because the 5K that we're hosting is called the Jingle All the Way 5K, and it's actually the 13th of December. So typically that's kind of a cold, maybe not so much running time, but it was Scott's recommendation that between the turkey trot and January 1st, there's a whole gap there where people who are really physically fit and health conscious are looking for something to do outside. So we're praying for nice weather that day. The other thing that we've done is once we started talking about the money, And I think the income or the fundraising was secondary. The students are like, oh yeah, gosh, if we have 100 students come and run and we're charging them $25 a piece, $2,500, like what would we do with that money? So then we start thinking, okay, would we run it as a fundraiser and have the money come back into the WCC or into the School of Business program, which is viable. But we got thinking about it's Christmas time. The Salvation Army is doing their Red Kettle program, and we reached out to the Salvation Army of Waterloo Cedar Falls. They were very receptive. Ellie, their director of fundraising, has been a guest speaker in our classroom. We've gotten to present our idea to her, and then she took it back to the Salvation Army, and they're very excited. They're gonna bring the Red Kettle and 6 or 8 volunteers out, and we're going to put them on little corners of our route for the run. And they're gonna be directional, but also hype people that will encourage all of our participants. So we also have written a grant through Sam's Club asking for cash. I think they'll put money on a card. We're gonna use it to buy Santa hats. And then the other expenditure, the only other expenditure, is we're going to buy wristbands that have jingle bells on them. So as the runners run, they will go jing, 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 jing. So they asked on the George Wythe application, which the students have all completed, will there be any noise issues? And other than the jingle, 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 we don't think there will be any noise issues. So they're excited. We've heard nothing but positive things back from the George Wythe Park people. And then Salvation Army is very much looking forward to it as well. Any questions? We hope we have your support.
Well, I just saw last weekend that I think it was the JUCO National Cross Country Meet was ran in Fort Dodge, and it was snow covered. They were running in the snow out there.
I saw that.
So it wouldn't be the first time that
it's true.
you had a race in the snow. So
That's right.
Let's try to avoid that.
are you signing up?
We'd love to see you there.
I'm not going to say no.
Challenge issue.
Yes. I'm not a runner, but I think this is an amazing event. I'm getting excited about it. The winter months bring me a little more congestion than normal, and I'm just imagining. I'm wondering what I would wear. Like, would I wear
Santa
nothing
suit.
wet?
A Santa suit.
That seems like it's kind of thin. So, I'm thinking about it.
Or an elf.
So is this open though? Like, I don't run, but I walk all the time. So are
Absolutely.
you promoting it for walkers as well? And like, what about like dogs too? Have you
I think absolutely. If you have a stroller you'd like to bring, if you have a dog that's on a leash and well behaved that you'd like to bring, absolutely. We have a link out on our Infinite Campus page to take income electronically. So you can register there, pay. The link is on our Facebook page. We have a WCC School of Business Facebook page, and we also have the Waterloo Career Center that has shared it numerous times. We've been out there trying to boost it, and then Scott Gall at the Runner's Flat has been instrumental in sharing to all of his social media platforms. He has numerous running clubs that are out of his facility, and we really, really appreciate all of his support.
So now, let me get this right. That's almost 3 miles, right?
Yeah. 0.1.
That's
Just to be fair, it takes me an hour to do 3 miles. So is this going to be one where I get to the end and everyone's gone?
Nope.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No.
Okay. 'Cause I've been to those too. So Braden, what challenges? What was your biggest challenge in doing this? What do you feel was like the most surprising aspect that you've learned? And what do you want to do going forward yourself, career-wise?
So the biggest thing with this project was trying to find a location. We struggled a little bit because we had a few stipulations put on us that it had to be held in Waterloo. And through cross-country teams and other things, we run a lot in Cedar Falls or around West High. So it was hard for me to narrow down like a location. But we figured out George Wythe was in Waterloo, which was great. and that opened up the floodgates because George Wythe is a great place to run. So it was a small hurdle, but it was probably our biggest, and we overcame it, which was great. I'm sorry, what was your other question besides what I want to do?
The most surprising thing that you've encountered doing this?
Surprisingly, the business outreach and how willing people are to like donate to stuff like this really surprised me. You don't hear about it a lot, people always donating and stuff, so it was cool to hear like these big retail stores are willing to give us money, these small businesses are willing, so it was just kind of warming from the community to kind of have them all come together.
Like Dick's or Shields or anything?
We haven't quite yet, but might be on our radar.
option too.
And then just career-wise after high school, I'd like to go to Iowa State. Right now I'm accepted and all that. I want to be an engineer, so that's something I'm looking forward to.
Braden, why did you decide to take principles of management?
Oh, well, it's not really the like greatest story of all time, but my friend was in it, and then I ended up in it. But business has also been something that somewhat interested me. I feel like it would be a key importance of engineering if I want to open my own like firm or anything like that. So the class has taught me a lot just about some of the more like obscure parts of business that you don't get on the surface. So it's been a good time.
Question. All right. Are there any more questions? Thank you and good luck to you. You may see me out there.
Thank you, guys.
I look forward to it.
I'll think about it. The way I'm feeling now, though, I don't know. Yeah, I'm scared of cold weather. And that was for information only as well. The next item on our agenda is item 10, the Central Rivers AAA Director District 5 representative election. An election is currently being held to fill 5 seats on the Central Rivers AAA Board of Directors. Waterloo Schools is situated within Director District number 5, which also includes the Dunkerton Community School District. An eligible voter residing in this area, AAA Director District, is eligible to serve on the board with the exception of those individuals employed by a local school district. Due to the AAA's recent redistricting, the current term for the Director District number 5 representative will be 2 years instead of the standard 4-year term. The Waterloo Community School District Board of Education will be asked to nominate and select one candidate, and it is important to note that the school's weighted vote must be cast entirely for a single candidate and may not be divided amongst nominees. So I do see that we have the 2 candidates that currently serve on the AAA board. And what we're going to do is, this is a little different than what we've used to. Like I said, both candidates are currently serving on the AAA's board, but due to the redistricting, we have to vote on one. So what we want to do is ask each candidate if they would, if you choose to, come introduce yourselves and just give us a brief spiel. We're going to use the yellow and red cards for you guys as well. I know I know Mr. Cron and Mr. Burton well, so 3 minutes, and then just introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Dennis Cron. I went through the Waterloo District, and I like what was going on in Bunger because I was probably a kid on the edge. Didn't get in a lot of trouble, but, gotten enough that Dad was waiting for me at home with, what the heck did you decide to do? We also had a few of those moments, but with the AA and with the legislation that's changed, it's going to be a challenge. Things are different than it's been. So I think it's basic. I've always looked at it as like, and when my kids were getting services from AA and going through the schools, it's a partnership. And the way I see it, every kid that has a heartbeat is important. They have different things going on, but it's just a partnership. And with the legislature changing things, we just have to figure out a way to make things work. And the board, the district will be served well with whoever is chosen. Neither one of us like what has happened with the AA redistricting, but it's just, we both feel that kids need to be looked out for, and whatever you guys choose, I think will work well for the kids in the district.
So I know most of you. I've been with the Boys and Girls Club. I've worked with the schools, worked with with a lot of your students. My story is a little bit like Denny's. My kids have all been served by the AEA. My middle child was found to have some hearing issues when he was in first or second grade. He went through speech therapy. By the time he graduated from high school, he was all state in choir. So the AEA helped him in that. I have another child that's on the autism spectrum who has been working, the school has worked with him in a lot of different ways. The AEA through the IEPs have worked with him. This is very difficult because I've been on this board, the AEA board, since 2013. And Dennis has been on there since 2014, 15, somewhere around there. So it's been a long time. We just went through a search, hired a new AEA chief. I had said before our last one that was going to be the last one, and I believe this will be my last one. This probably wasn't something you wanted to hear, but I want to endorse Dennis. I want you to pick him as your representative. I have done this long enough. I'll still work with all of you in different things, but I really don't need to be on this board as much as I feel Dennis. He still has things to do. When I went on this board, I thought the only way to get me off was I was going to die. Because when I was first on it, there were a lot of 80 and 90-year-olds on there that, they passed away and then they were no longer on the board. So I figured this was for life. But with this redistricting, with everything the state did, I feel as though I've done my time. I've done enough with this organization, with the AEA, that I think it's time for someone younger than me to do it. And it's the toughest thing I've done in a long time, but I wanted to come to support Dennis.
Wow. Okay. So, this is, I don't know if the board knows, but last couple of days, I've been a little under the weather. I've been masking and hiding. And I don't know if it had something to do, they say stress or anxiety causes health issues as well.
Yeah.
And when I seen this and when we talked about this and received the information, I know both of you gentlemen quite extensively. And to have to be able to select one. I met Dennis through programming. My son is also autistic, nonverbal. And my son and his daughter was in the same group under Gene Trainer at the Facilitated Communication Group. Know Brian from years, Boys and Girls Club. The one thing I thought about this process was to thank both of you. No matter how the vote went, we haven't had a discussion about it. I didn't know how everybody was going to vote, but just knowing that we had to choose one, and thanking you both for the time, commitment, and service that you've provided to this position. Us serving on this board as well, we understand the commitment and what that commitment means and who it's for. You both mentioned students, families. So we understand that you care, or else you wouldn't have done it, and wouldn't have done it for that amount of time. So we appreciate you serving in that capacity and that partnership that the AEA has with the school district. And like Mr. Cron said, we don't know what that'll look like, but we know we have to keep fighting. We have to keep pushing forward for those students that don't always have a voice. and those families that don't know about the services that are available to them through the AEA and those programs. I've sat in plenty of IEP meetings. So I understand from a parent's perspective, but then I also understand from a service perspective as well. So I want to personally, and on behalf of the board, thank you both for your continued service. And I think we may have our answer already, but I know that Mr. Burton, I know you won't be far away. I know you'll still advocate for those services and those individuals and those families and all the people that you've met along the way. But I also want to thank you for making this a little easier on myself. Yeah, but we still have to go through the process as well. So from myself to you all and as chair of the board, thank you for your service in AAA.
I didn't know. I would just say I didn't know when I walked in here that I was going to say that. But when I talked to Denny and when I, all the things that I've done in the community, I'll continue doing things. I want Dennis to have that opportunity too.
That's admirable.
Well, and I'll say this, you guys know that I went through the Waterloo district. Part of what made me want to serve on the AA board is because when I was younger, as I look back, I had teachers and coaches that looked out for me and put me on a correct path.
So I didn't know. I mean, I didn't, when I got this, I was very anxious as well. I don't know either gentleman, and I had no idea how I was going to be able to process this. I have more, I think, in common with Denny because I don't work in the community. I'm working as a sub. Like, I don't have the same ability to have an impact in my job life as I do in my board life. I also had a child with selective mutism, so that resonated with me, but I wouldn't have known how to vote. So, Mr. Burton, thank you. And let's schedule a visit together so that I can come to the Y and we can chat. Would that be cool?
Boys and girls.
Oh, I'm sorry, boys and girls.
I think
I would love to come.
I think a lot of us can echo the challenges those have been parents. A lot of us have had kids that had IEPs and different things for different reasons, and it's a whole big spectrum. And the work is so important, and need is so great, and the need is not decreasing. I mean, in our district, and so having a voice there, and people that are helping provide programming is just very important. So we appreciate both of you and your commitment to the community and willingness to support our children.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead, and then we have to go ahead, hurry up, and we have to do the recommendation. So.
Kim spoke before us.
So the votes are in. So now I read the recommendation. We have to put a motion to put it on the table. So the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education cast its vote by a vote of 6-0 for Mr. Dennis Cron as the Director, District 5 Representative to the Central Rivers Area Education Agency Board of Directors.
So moved.
Second.
So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you. And if the board ever has a concern or anything related to that, please contact me. I'll be more than happy to meet with you on any issue.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
both.
Oh, that was. Okay, the next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda consists of 6 items. The approval of minutes of the October 27th, 2025 special board meeting and October 27th, 2025 regular board meeting. Item 2, personnel appointments and adjustments. Item 3, bills due and payable and bills paid between board meetings. Item 4, agreement with Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services for the Transition Alliance Program, TAP. Item 5, agreement with Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services for the Project Search Program. And item 6, sale or disposal of real property. Are there any items that board members want to see removed?
Number 4, please.
Item 4, agreement with Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services for the Transition Alliance Program, TAP. Are there any other items that board members would like to see removed? I'll remove item 6, the sale or disposal of real property. All right. Can I get a motion to put items 1, 2, 3, and 5 on the table?
Second.
All those in favor of approving items 1, 2, 3, and 5, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. That brings us to item 4, agreement with Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services for the Transition Alliance Program. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the contract with Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services for the operation of the Transition Alliance Program, also known as TAP, as presented.
Second.
And Director Mills, speak on that.
Yeah, I just brought it up because I wanted to make sure that parents who have students with IEPs and 504s, if you have not had your child's counselor bring up the TAP program, please bring it up to them. It's something I didn't find out about with my oldest child, and Director Knight actually is the one that told me about it for my younger. So the support that they received in high school and are continuing to receive in college is absolutely essential for, I mean, it's making things so much more different for my younger daughter than what I would have been able to do on my own. There's, she's being given support, and she's being, she's receiving help with job shadowing, all these things that like you just wouldn't know how to find the resource on your own. So if your child does have an IEP or 504 plan and you have not heard about it, please, I do suggest talking to your child's counselor. And thank you, Director Knight.
Thank you. And I agree with your statement wholeheartedly. The child that had this support for this program was pretty amazing. My wife spoke so highly of the interaction she had. She did all that on a day-to-day basis. So yes, it's a great program.
I don't fully understand the structure. So the Waterloo Schools is a contractor to TAP, which is some relationship with Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation. Tell me who's reporting to who and who's paying who, and who's determining
that's a good question.
The curriculum.
I mean, I don't know as much detail about the program specifics. As far as the financial arrangement, we get reimbursed about half the cost for the services that we provide through a grant. But I don't know specifically the program.
So we provide a service that is guided by TAP, and then whatever we spend on that, we get reimbursed up to that limit. Is
50%.
that?
Yep, 50% of our costs.
Is our cost just their salaries, or is it the other stuff that they're doing as well?
It's primarily salaries.
Okay.
50% of the salaries that support the TAP program.
They have people on site basically that support
Yes.
those students in their
But they're their people or our people?
There are people.
Yeah. So
So they all report to Megan?
Yeah, I'm looking that up right now. I'm pretty sure they report to Megan. I know we have gone through a couple little we've gone through some changes over the I remember when I was an assistant principal at East, it was Mike Denton was working with, I don't know if I'm
so that's what I wanted. So kind of tied it so that you would probably understand it a little more. Some of those during the day trips,
Yeah.
those are TAP students. Some of those are TAP students as well.
The work study?
Work study,
Yeah.
job shadow. That's part of those transportation routes are a lot are TAP students. So they'll do their curriculum during the day, and then so my son utilized the TAP program as well. He probably was at 7 or 8 different places. Job shadow at the Y, at Goodwill, TJ Maxx,
Friendship.
YM. So
They were able to get Mallory in to do at one of the funeral homes for mortician. So,
Yeah,
so I mean, it's very, very.
So what's the support beyond after graduation?
we
The
did
collegiate
not
support, you're talking about?
Huh?
The collegiate support, or
Well, it says here, student until student reaches 25.
Yep.
Yep.
So
what is that?
Project Search is also a program that intertwined
Similar.
and it's similar,
Yeah.
intertwined, same aspect, but yeah, excuse me. No, just bear with me a little bit. They support students, beyond the high school, beyond their high school years, if that, or they transition to something else.
A lot of that was done at Project Search. A lot of that was with Allen Hospital.
Mhm.
They did a lot of that there.
Yep.
We had, if you remember, you go back, one of the meetings that when we had this renewal, Dr. Willie Barney brought in a family that talked about that, a mom and her daughter, and it was one of the board meetings I think brought us for about ready to cry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was pretty moving.
Yeah.
I know with the TAP program, our experience was, our child went to a 2-year college, and I mean, he stayed in that program until we called and said, okay, he's done, he's down school, he doesn't no longer need services. So I mean, and they would just call and check in, make sure there's anything we needed, if there's something he needed, like help, I think, give us some navigation with 504 stuff on at the college level, because there are different forms they need to do to get accommodations at the collegiate level than it was at high school, but they help provide
and they
some
also
support there.
they'll advocate for them as
Yeah.
well. Like it's a
And-
lot,
and
they
employment.
provide a
And
financial.
employment. They help
Yeah,
secure employment and everything. It's
if your kid
a
is in
well-rounded program.
TAP in college, they qualify for voc rehab funding as well for their tuition, so for part of their tuition.
Yeah, that's right. You're exactly right. I remember he did get some of that
Yeah.
from TAP.
And I mean, but Lyle, I am interested to find out more about what you're asking, especially because Project Search was the other one that's on here, and that one talks about that they have a capacity for 12 kids. Is that what it said? So
Yeah.
are those students that are after they graduate, or what does that mean? Or is it some of our kids who are staying until they're 21?
So
I mean, it's a
Megan-
different,
Megan Allen would be able to answer your questions
Okay.
really. And
Okay.
her in conjunction with Angela Montgomery. Angela is like a guru on the side of the financing of all of this. I can certainly reach out to both of them to ask them a little bit of additional information for you.
Yeah, I was the Project Search. I know we're talking just on TAP here. I mean, it's with TAP, but I know it seemed like Project Search was more the extended core. We had a bigger cohort of that in here, and I forget, how much. Like, is it 12 per year or 12? But like I said, both programs I think do a good job helping prepare our kids, beyond just us. Help setting them up for a good outcome in their future adult lives. So.
Yeah, Stacy, I the last 3 years I've spoken at, I'm invited to the Project Search graduation. We hand out diplomas. I'm trying to think if it's a year removed after their actual graduation. So it's somewhere in that transition phase, whether it's that senior, and I don't want to be wrong. So Megan can certainly get that.
I think
Get
a
that
lot of
for
those
you.
are on 5-year graduation plans.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And Project Search is not all Waterloo students. It's open to outside, but usually it's 9, 10 Waterloo students and maybe 1 or 2 from outside the community.
And lastly, what's FFY? There were so many sequences of letters in this document, and I couldn't find the original. It's on page 39. Well, it's on quite a few pages, but it appeared there first. Some fiscal year, I'm sure. But
Funding for fiscal year?
it's item K on page. Federal fiscal year. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Are there any more questions or comments on this?
No, thank you guys.
Thank you. So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. That brings us to the next item on the consent agenda. Sale or disposal of real property. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education post the Expo Alternative Learning Center building located at 1410 Independence Avenue, Waterloo, Iowa for sale.
So moved.
And I pulled that just stating, I know Zach couldn't be here today, but just in case any of the community is driving by and you see a for sale sign in our yard, that building, geez, it's not sure when it was erected, but it's modeled as the same as the old Logan, Jack and Logan building. So I'm sure it's been quite a while.
I think it was built in the 50s.
50s, okay. So for those of you that aren't aware, we transitioned our students to the WCCX and to the Greenbrier sites prior to this. So the building is empty at this point of students or personnel. So
Everyone that was there, even because I knew we were taking some time to transfer. So everyone has been moved out now.
Yep.
Great.
So if you see a for sale sign, or if you know someone that's looking for some property, you should see a for sale sign soon on that property.
I think a key point there is Expo still exists. It's just the program
yes.
still exists, and I think
Yes.
it's important to know that we didn't close Expo. That programming still exists in other portions of the district. So
good point.
Yeah,
Good point.
I just met with Carrie, Principal Wheeland on Friday, and we transitioned the rest of the programs out to Greenbrier this year. And from every indication, things are going really well over there. They appreciate the small space, everything's going pretty well in that transition. So
good to hear. Good to hear.
So this is also part of the facility management program we're adding, obviously, at the new high school, but we're also subtracting as much as we can. So we're subtracting about a little over half, I think, of what we're building. So it's not a net to reduce our costs. And the other thing that's not in here, and I don't know exactly what the final boundaries are, but there's quite a few acres there. I'm thinking 14 acres or something like that. So anybody interested, it's more than a building. It's a fairly sizable plot of land. I think that's the way we ended up defining the parcel. So yeah, it's a really a good, a nice piece.
JT, do you have any, is there any like ballpark numbers of what you want to speak for it, or do we not have that yet?
We had a realtor do an informal appraisal. I don't remember what that number was. off the
Yeah,
top of my
we
head.
have it. You should have it in. Yeah. Oh, now we can get that to you. It's just a rough estimate of what the potential may be. So all those, are there any more questions? So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. That brings us to the next item on our agenda. Item 12, River Hills School Consortium SBRC application for special education administrative costs. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the application to the School Budget Review Committee, SBRC, in the amount of $38,252.09 for special education administrative costs associated with the River Hills Consortium program for the 2026-2027 school year.
Second.
And we have, you want to take this?
Yeah, I
JT?
can
Okay.
These are this item and the next item are two items you see this time of year, every year. The district belongs to two special education consortiums, one at River Hills and Cedar Falls, and the Lead Center in Waverly. Normally, administrative costs related to special education, are, you can't code those to special education unless there's different circumstances. And one of those circumstances is if you, under a consortium agreement where there's enough students that allows for the need of an administrator. So basically what this is since Cedar Falls holds the consortium agreement for River Hills, and then Waverly holds the lead consortium at Waverly, they need every district within that consortium to pass their allocated amount that would be allocated to them, and the allocation is proportional to the number of students that attend there. So Waterloo has 16 students, for example, at River Hills, I believe. Yeah, divided by 81. So that portion of the special ed administrator cost would come to Waterloo. And all this action is doing is allowing that to be paid through special education funds. It's not giving us any more money or authority or anything of that nature. It's not increasing property tax. It's literally just an action item to take us to the SBRC.
But if we have a special education deficit, it could parlay into authority.
It could.
Okay.
I mean, yes, in a sense, yeah. But basically, Cedar Falls for River Hills needs us to do this. Waverly, Shell Rock needs us to do that for the Lead Center in order for them to be able to take it in front of the SBRC.
Is this a single? Is this the salary of a single administrator there?
Yeah, it's the estimated costs of a single, I believe, a single administrator at each location. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, my only question is, you look at our cost on there. Is it balanced? Does our cost balance out with our number of students?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's 20%.
It is. All right. Let's see if that, I didn't see it broken out. Okay.
Are there any more questions?
You didn't do the math.
I didn't have my calculator in front of me.
Are there any more questions? JT, comments? So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation state aye. Aye. Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Don't go far, JT. The next item on our agenda is a Lead Center Consortium SBRC application for special education administrative costs. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the application to the School Budget Review Committee, SBRC, in the amount of $15,114.17 for special education administrative costs associated with the Lead Center Consortium program for the 2026-2027 school year.
Second.
And JT, give us a little bit more information about this one as well.
Yeah, it's the same concept that we just talked about. Just again, this is the Lead Center in Waverly. And my understanding is the Lead Center is more for behavior related students. River Hills is more cognitive type of disabilities.
Well, that's okay. So that's my question. Like I worked at Four Oaks a long time ago, and we had kids though that they would rotate in and out. Like they weren't there the full year a lot of times. So how do we, is this then, this number determined at a certain time, like that October 23rd, and then it stays the same no matter how many kids we cycle in or out throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the approval of this is the estimated cost, but what will happen is it'll be reconciled. This is for 26, 27. So at that, when actual costs come in at 26, 27, the amount will be the lower of what the actual versus what was approved here.
So are we just budgeting 5.5?
So it's based on current enrollment right now.
Well, how? Yeah. With a half, well, are we actually transporting them back to our district?
Well, do they have a
after
day?
the
Some have day programs, and I mean, or there's different steps so they can rotate back into school. I mean, that's the whole point of the program, is to get them back into their home district. Correct?
Yes.
So what's the typical duration of a stay there?
Now you're getting into territory that's
Not you.
beyond me.
And it completely depends on the kid. Like we had kids that would be the whole year. We'd have kids who'd be
Yeah,
there for
fair statement.
6 weeks.
Fair
you know.
statement. Both River Hills and Lead Center are, we just had a discussion today, very instrumental in our whole continuum of services. Like there's probably a need for more, at least on the Lead Center side, of
Yeah.
a few more of our students going out there to access their services, because we simply don't have the space right now in our behavior program. So Lyle, you asked how long. I think it is a longer period of time than short. It's not like it's a quick. And actually, just to clarify, we've reached out to leadership for both River Hills and Lead Center to have a meeting coming up, and I think Pam is working on scheduling that right now, just to make sure we have a good understanding of the cost, as well as how students are like the transition process. So you're kind of on the right track, Lyle. So we do have some questions about transitioning out, transitioning in, because sometimes when they come back, it's a little quick. We want to do a smooth transition for those students. So it's something that's on our radar. You see the students that we have. It's kind of, at least on the River Hill side, it's relatively proportional to we just ran it the other day. The amount of students in the entire AEA and then the amount of students the Waterloo School sends to that program, pretty proportional on River Hills. On Lead Center, we have a little bit smaller percentage. So we're going to ask some questions about that, because we feel like it should be proportional to the number of students in the AEA, if that makes sense, which I think there's like roughly 60,000 students in the AEA. We've got 10,000 students. So it should be 1/6 of the students should be ours, in theory.
So like when I worked for 4 Oaks, and Brentwood worked very much the same way. A lot of the kids that were there, it wasn't because like the school district sent them there. They were adjudicated through court or through DHS. Is that no longer how it works? Are we sending children on our own, or is it still adjudicated?
Yeah, I think it's a combination.
Okay.
Combination of.
And are they still doing our curriculum? Because that was something that would happen as well. Sometimes they would use, because there's usually teachers on site, correct? Depending on what level they're at.
A really good question.
There's a lot there.
I'm not sure. So the Lead Center is more on we've got behavior focused programming in the district, and that is like, if we can't offer that level of services, is Lead Center.
Right.
We've got extended core, which is more the cognitive issues. If we don't have something in-house that can serve that, then we'll do River Hills.
And we can reach out to Megan.
What age are the students?
Lead Center is actually K through 12. We have just a couple elementary, and I believe the same thing with River Hills. I'm not sure if pre-K is involved in either of those. Pre-K be a little young for the Lead Center for sure. But we do have a couple students I asked the same question the other day. Do we have any elementary students at the Lead Center? And we do have a couple.
So I'm not familiar enough to know. So we just send one bus or van up there?
I'm not
With
sure.
all
Well,
the
and do we
students?
even do
Yeah, we
again,
do.
when I worked
We do.
there, like the program did transportation themselves. So
No, we transport. I know that.
Are these questions that
I think
we need to reach out to Megan
Megan would know these
and,
things
and,
for sure.
and that department?
Just out of information, but it's not going to affect.
Okay.
Well, I do agree with Jared, though, to find out what percentages.
Yep, we can get that through email communication to Megan. So if you have any further questions.
And so at the end of the year,
Yeah,
you'll let us
so-
know what our actual costs were for each program, correct? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but not just these costs, because we get charged a facility fee, I think, for River Hills as well.
Yep, and that's going to
Yeah,
be
we
part of
talked
our
about that
meeting
too.
that we're going to have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yep.
All right.
So are we good? No. Okay. If you have any more questions that pertain to that, reach out to me. Yep. Let Pam know. So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. That brings us to the next item on our agenda, and this is just for information only. It's our financial information. And I'll turn it over to our chief financial officer, JT.
Yeah. Honestly, we're a little bit behind on where I'd like to be. These are monthly reports from July and August. Our focus has been on the audit here recently, so we're kind of playing catch up a little bit. So July and August, there's not a lot of activity compared to the rest of the months throughout the school year. So you'll see just from a revenue standpoint, very little revenues coming in on any of our funds. So when you look at the balance, you'll see a lot of red. Well, again, we have more expenses than revenues at this point. So that will catch up once you start seeing September and October and so on and so forth. But yeah, there's really not a lot, like I said, to report. If you look at some of the cash balances as well, you'll see that through these months, they're low as well. We did have to, if you recall, we increased our line of credit in order to help the cash flow. So that's not quite reflected in July. In August, it is a little bit because we did draw on that line of credit for a small amount. But really, there's like I said, there's not a lot of activity in these first 2 months of the fiscal year.
So in Fund 33 and maybe even Fund 40, is Fund 40, that's not changing,
Right.
is it? It's pretty much fixed.
Yeah, so Fund 40 that's our debt service fund. So that's where we hold all of the sinking fund and reserves to pay off our save bond debt. So we have 2 reserve funds and then again monthly transfers to those investment accounts to hold until we pay off our bond principal and interest.
So we pay into that fund, put funds into that fund monthly,
Yep.
and then every 6 months.
Yeah, January's an interest only payment and then July 1st is principal and interest.
All right, and then where does it show what we spent so far on the high school project, the SAFE project?
It doesn't specifically have that exact number. What it does show, and if you look at on the cash and investments, it shows you the 2025 project account. That's how much bond proceeds we have remaining from our bond sale in June. So August 31st, you can see the 2025 project account. There's $68.6 million of bond proceeds left on the project. I could get you that information though. I have a running spreadsheet with that.
Yeah,
One high school information. Yeah.
That would be
Yep.
be great, just to
Yep.
see kind of the trend line, because
Yep.
we should kind of predict when the next
Yep.
ban is.
Yep. And right now we're spending it's about $4 million a month for the project right now.
Well, that's probably a little below what we anticipated, but
A little bit below, and it'll pick up, but that's
all right.
where it's been.
I mean, wintertime, weather delays, wintertime will
Yeah. Yep.
impact, versus springtime when
Yep. Any other questions?
Thank you. Yep. Thank you. All right, and that was just for information only. Thanks, JT. Ken. All right, the next item on our agenda is board policy changes first reading. If you haven't realized yet, my voice is leaving me fast. So these are the first reading, and this is just for information only. So if you have any questions on these,
I did just want to point out on page 103 is the licensed employee contract release, the changes that policy review made to that, what Sam brought to us. So if you have any questions on that one, like we went through it pretty in depth. I feel good about it, but Sam, do you want to speak to any of it all now if anyone has questions?
I can.
I mean,
If-
do you all feel good? Or have you read it?
Let me look at this first reading.
Okay.
Let me look at it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Can I just ask one other quick question about the at-risk programming? I am a person of words, you know, when it comes to how we refer to things. At risk, you know, I don't know how we utilize that term throughout the district, but we talk about positive affirmation. Is there any way to kind of not call it an at-risk program, but an infinite possibilities program? I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of, you know, is there any way to change the wording of something like that? I wouldn't want my child to be considered an at-risk
I
program.
mean, yeah, how being labeled something like
Right.
that
So I don't know if that's a
carries
possibility.
Yeah.
I know it's a word, but it's also a mindset. So just
that's a
an
good point.
idea.
Okay.
Is it actually though a program, or it's just a name that's given to that group of students that we provide programming and funding under that title line?
I don't know.
But could it be labeled different? Though?
I would just
Could
say
be
that it is codified. At risk is codified.
Okay.
So when we talk about like at risk funding, it is codified as
at-risk
at risk funding.
Okay.
But I don't think we call like
I
in
don't know.
programs that like as
Okay.
far as I know, Jared. I mean, there's nothing that we call. I mean, we have all alternative programs, but I think that's a really good.
I mean, what it is on paper versus what you call it in the building could be maybe two different things to some degree, right? I mean,
Right.
perhaps, like on paper it is an at-risk program, but what what we call it as a face value could be something maybe a little different too, What I was looking over here at when we get a second here. Go ahead.
No, I'm not saying anything.
This one, I think, I don't know, I can't remember this, but on the policy versus no cost passes to district sponsor activities and events, Pam, isn't Battle Waterloo exception to that? It's the 929. Yeah. Seemed like we didn't get free pass, like, unless you volunteered at the battle, you had to pay to get in. Huh?
So it's not like a West High.
It's not hosted at, it's our school district event, but not hosted our facility.
So are you asking?
I don't think we do, but I don't know if does it clearly identify that as being one that wouldn't get. I mean, it
Wait,
doesn't-
I'm confused. What do you? I thought it was just like state ones that these
No,
can be
Battle
used for.
Waterloo, because we host that at Young Arena. I think
okay.
you don't, our
Because
staff
if you-
passes don't. Yeah. I didn't think so. That's why I didn't see it in there, but I thought that was an exception too.
So are you saying it should be an exception?
What I'm saying right now is we don't list it, so it could be confusing that that's not in the list of things that are covered by
That
the,
cover, yeah.
like.
Do-
That's probably the only
But
event
it's
we have
cons-
that's kind of like that.
Right, because it's considered still a Waterloo Schools event, just like if we utilize the Unidome, passes are available.
Right.
So it's not the location of it; it's us hosting. So maybe we need to have some specific, because it's not a state sanctioned.
Right. It's like the new ports that are open outside of by the, the hotel downtown. Like if we were to utilize that for, Esther, if we were to utilize those new sports ports opening there for a volleyball tournament,
Yeah.
it would be, it'd be our event maybe, but
Right.
not necessarily our facility.
Yeah. So the language needs to be kind of similar to the playoffs and
Yeah, maybe or
that
something like
event
events hosted at Waterloo school facilities or something to that are non-state. Like I don't know exactly
Yeah,
how to
but
wordsmith it,
you might run into. Yeah, you have to. I think because if you go to the Unidome, we utilize passes.
Yeah.
If we have to utilize that again.
That's just one that is one is kind of a different deal.
Yeah.
Like it's I hate for somebody to think that they don't have to pay and they get there and then oh no you got to pay.
That's a good catch.
Oh.
I will say reading that 55 is considered a senior lifetime pass kind of hit me in the face kind of hard. Like 55.
That's why if I'm in town, I just volunteer.
Is there a, in the 800 series, I'm just wondering if there is a separate reg or regulation on naming rights that might become policy.
We are working on that right now. There is a donations and naming rights policy that will come through kind of a conjunction with the business office and the school and community relations. But yes, that is in the works.
Good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Not too often I ask for a new policy.
You should come join us for policy review that night.
I was on policy review.
Come back.
It's actually, Lyle, quite frankly, a conglomeration of about 4 or 5 policies that we currently have that deal very closely. So we're kind of working on melding those together.
All right. And that is just for information only. This is the first reading. So if you have any more questions, you can reach out to our own Pam Arndorfer. We can get those questions answered before the second reading. That looks like it ends our action items for the evening. And now on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Smith.
Yeah, just 3 things here. One, first and foremost, our thoughts and prayers to the Payton family for the unexpected loss of Andy Payton, one of our teachers and coaches and all-around great guys, West High grad of 2003, I want to say. So we reached out to the board. The family has asked if we could have his funeral at West High, and it's going to be this Saturday. So so there's going to be, I imagine, a lot of people showing up for that. He's touched a lot of lives over the last several years. So again, thoughts and prayers to Andy Payton's family. And as you know, Josh Payton is one of ours and is usually here at these meetings, quite honestly. And so I know he's kind of taken care of things with the family. So also to my right here, Janelle Ewing, speedy recovery to her as she recovers from shoulder surgery. I know she's kind of been updating us with some pics and everything. So let's hope she's back to full. She had mentioned her shoulder has been an issue for quite some time. So she was excited to kind of get that taken care of. Last but not least, I had a chance to go and visit the robotics program. If you remember, I think Erin was here not too long ago talking about Lego League, FTC, and had a follow-up conversation with her about going to visit. And they had a practice last Thursday night at East High, and just had a chance to see it. Just amazing how many hours they put in, those kids and the coaches. So just we got a really good program. And I think it was 35 plus teams across the district, which is crazy. So when just one little quick, the guy who came up, there was a gentleman who's big in the funding from John Deere from corporate, who came up from the Quad Cities. And he said when he read our application for asking for money, he did not believe that we truly had 35 teams across the district. And he was like, there's no way they've got 35 teams. And sure enough, Aaron confirmed we do have 35 teams. So to have somebody from John Deere, I forget his name, Lyle, Jesse, you guys might know the gentleman. I'll just show you the picture of the guy, but he was in shock about how much we have going on with robotics here in the district. So.
Well, John Deere's into robotics big time, that's for sure.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Tonight for board comments, we'll start with Director Knight.
Well, just a couple items tonight. First, and just on the groups that were here today, the ROTC program, great to see those kids come up and talk about their experiences there and what they got going on for Eastside. Just a lot of community involvement there. You know, I didn't serve in the military myself, but I've had a lot of family members in, I think, every conflict going back to World War One I know of, and you know, just seeing them come out and do stuff with American Legion and AMVETS and stuff, just to help our veterans. So and then I want to thank our veterans out there, our employees, our families, as we get to Veterans Day tomorrow, and you know, we remember a lot of the sacrifices our family gave to us. And then just again, a compliment to the Bunger staff there with their positive reinforcement stuff. I got to see that a few weeks ago, and I just really think it's a very innovative, creative way to use our system in something that was usually deemed to be a negative outcome, and really true, as you say, flip the script and kind of work on, you know, letting kids know that they're doing good things and that they're making, and not just telling somebody in the hall, but, you know, there's a record of those things too, because most of the time we just see the negative, right? And we need to see more of the positive, because there's a lot of positive going out there. We just don't hear about it. So that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, Director Knight. Director Mills.
I had the opportunity on Friday to help chaperone the work shadow event that 10th graders did. I was at the People's Clinic. I had a pretty big group of kids. They got to do a bunch of different stuff. One of them decided she does not want to be a phlebotomist after seeing it. So it helped rule something out for her. So that's great. It was really fun. The kids were really well behaved. It was definitely an interesting experience. And then also something that I've been looking at a lot for the board is some different continuing education opportunities that we can do ourselves. And if you go to the IASB website and go under Board Development Toolbox, there is a lot of cool stuff there. So I'm working on some stuff of my own, but if anyone's interested in maybe doing a book study with me or anything like that, just let me know and we can get started.
Thank you, Director Mills. Director Cox.
Definitely condolences out here for the Payton family. You know, today I think we heard what is good here in the district. Some innovative things going in the district. Looking at the JROTC, hopefully I said that right.
Yeah.
What they're doing, what they always have represented. For my view is they're always at our events, and they're holding up not only the flag, but also holding up the fact that this district, you know, and so there's a lot of good and positive things about this district, and you know, once again, I'm say this again, Jared. Let's make sure people know about what's going good. You know, seeing the young man that mentioned about being in trouble, and I happen to know the kid from a distance, and I know there's always been a little bit of trouble, and it's great to hear him talk about some positive things about how he's changed his behavior. That's what we're here for. So I just want to reiterate the fact that we're doing some great things here in this district, and let's don't hide it under a cover. Let's just let it out. I mean, what's going on at Bunger with the positive referrals? Who would have thought about that? Positive referrals. I mean,
It's an oxymoron.
right. I mean, you know, when you talk about the name referrals, I mean, it's definitely connected to something that's not good. But I think in this manner, just the way they have turned it, they flipped the script. So I'm happy for this district. I'm happy for each of our employees of this district. And I'm happy for our kids, because there is some good things here in this district.
Thank you, Director Cox. Director Matlock.
Thank you. First, I just want to say, as others have said, condolences to the Payton family and all the other bereaved families within our district. Also, congratulations to East High and Bunger. That is just awesome. You know, I've always said before that I love board celebrations, and I really appreciate the leadership of our students. And it's good to see that, and as flipping that script, and that's exactly what we're doing within the district. But last week I had the opportunity to go to the Council of Independent Colleges Conference in Indianapolis, Indiana, hanging out with the Future Farmers of America and J.W. Marriott for the first couple days. Quite a few of those students were running around, and I love those jackets. I feel like do I have to be a farmer to get one of those? Because those are, I mean, they were looking pretty good. I mean, they were great leaders within the Marriott for 2 days. They were all very respectful, and it was awesome to see that. But I also had the opportunity to meet the superintendent of the Indianapolis School District, Dr. Elisa Johnson, and she was our keynote speaker at the Women's Administrators luncheon there. And she posed 3 questions for us, and she said, "What do you desire to be? What do we desire to be true for all of our students? Where are there opportunities to remove barriers? Is the decision that I make aligned with our mission? Am I being mission centered?" And those 3 questions are going to stick with me as I sit within this seat, for 4 more years. I'm excited to do that. But those are going to be my guiding questions as I make decisions here. Are we mission centered? And that really stuck with me because we read this mission statement every meeting. And I question, are we mission centered? That should guide and lead us in every decision that we make. So I'm all about these challenges tonight. But and I'm not even competitive, but I would like to challenge us to make sure that we are mission centered as we think about all of our students within the district. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Director Matlock. Director Schmidt.
Yeah, like the others, first of all, condolences to the Payton family. Also, congratulations to our new board members. Both presentations tonight, I thought were just really excellent. I always love hearing from the JROTC students. The Midwest has about twice the representation in the military per capita than the rest of the country. So, but it benefits the country, but it benefits those students too. As I said, it's the best leadership training in the world. I just hope that they get that shooting range back. They'll get more students. It's really fun to, they're taking the fun away from it. So hopefully that will help. And of course, when's Veterans Day tomorrow? We honor. Just note that we should honor all our veterans. That's all.
Short, I was expecting. Thank you, Director Schmidt. I'll be brief today. Again, on behalf of the board, me personally as well, condolences to the family of Andy Payton, one of ours. Continue to keep them in thoughts and prayers, and the students as well. He touched quite a few lives. So just remember to, tell your loved ones and the people you care about, you love them. And thank you to the 2 schools that gave presentations today. Anytime we get an opportunity to see students students get in front of us and tell all the great things that they're doing within their buildings, and show their character, we're always proud and happy, because that's why we're here. That's what we do it for. I'll go back to what I always used to say is that's probably the best part. That is the best part of sitting in this seat is seeing the celebrations and seeing our students grow and become future leaders. We're starting anew. Midterm is over, so make sure you continue to do your best within the classrooms. And that's all school buildings. Parents, be supportive of your students. This year we have 2 board meetings in November. I had to ask Pam, I'm like, we normally only have 1 board meeting in November because I think the Thanksgiving break comes about that time, but I see we have 2, so I better announce. Next week there are the UEM meetings and IASB conference that a few of us will be attending on November 24th in this room. At 5 p.m., we have our second November board meeting, and then from November 26th through the 28th, we'll be on Thanksgiving break. All offices and buildings will be closed. I believe that is all I have this evening. I'm going to go rest. So at this time, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
So all those in favor of adjourning, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. We're adjourned. Thanks.